Hi and welcome back to another video. This time you can see my crazy ducks outside. It's Muscovy ducks and they can see themselves in the mirror of the door in the glass. So they think it's a drake and they are going into mating season. So they look really funny right now. And in this video we are doing some different stuff. First off, I'm going to smoke a pork roast, and I have had it in a brine of salt and water for about 1 to 2 days. Now we're filling up this box with some sawdust that we're going to use in the smoker. We have an electric charbroil smoker, so we can just put in the time and the temperature, and then the smoker does the rest. So that's really easy. And the pork roasts taste really good when they have been smoked. So we're just putting the box inside the smoker on the heating element, and then we'll turn it on. And first off, we're going to preheat it for about 40 minutes, and then it's ready for the roast. Now the preheating is done, and we're bringing out the roast to put inside the smoker. Lidt højere. Den lige der. Ja. Så du And there's this meat thermometer that is attached to the smoker, and I'm just putting it inside of the roast, and that way I can see what the temperature is inside the roast, and I can also see the temperature inside the oven or the smoker. So I can just put in which temperatures I want for both. And the first one is the temperature inside of the smoker, and then the second I'm putting in is the temperature for inside of the roast, so that the oven will stop heating when it reaches the right temperature, but I will also keep an eye on it. And this is Aki and the Muscovy ducks, and she doesn't care for them at all, but they find her really interesting, so they always come running when she's there. And now we are going to water and the other ducks and geese, and the Muscovy ducks also wants to get out of the garden, so we have to shut the door, else they will be out in the middle of the road. And we have all of these really long hoses that we are going to use to water the ducks and the geese on the other side of the road, because there's a long way from where a water source is and out to them. So we have several hoses connected. So first off, we are going to give the geese some clean water. They really enjoy the clean water, and when it's mating season, they always mate up in the water. Ducks can do it both in the water or just on the grass, but the geese really like the clean water. So we are giving them clean water a few times a week. And I have these 4 geese. 3 of them are females and 1 male, and these are my cayuga ducks. There's 1 male and 6 ducks, and then I have those 4 Muscovy ducks in the garden. And this is where they sleep at night. So they also have a big bucket of water inside there that we're going to change. And then once or twice a week we're moving this kind of cage where they're sleeping inside, so that there's always clean in the bottom. And then we're just giving them some clean water inside there as well. And this is Bodil. She is one of my goslings from last year, so she is a really cute one. She's not scared at all, and she'll come and eat directly from my hands. And the gander has also been here since he was a baby, so he's the same way as her. The other 2 I bought as adults. So this is some compost from our kitchen, a lot of vegetable scraps. So just put it in this compost pile, and then we can use it later on in the garden. This is also a little pumpkin that has got some spots, so we're just giving it to the chickens, and they really love all of these scraps to eat. So just watch in a moment when they all come running. And the ducks are really experts in putting mud into the water, so we have to change it a lot. They are cleaning their beaks in the water when they put their beaks into the mud, so that's why it's always filled up with dirt. The geese are not as bad as the ducks, but they still need some clean water a lot. And now that we're done with that, we are going on to the harvest of all of our vegetables. And we are at this point in the late fall, about November I think. So we have a lot of beets, and these are rutabagas, and they're really big. But even though these are big, we have harvested some that was at least twice as big as these. But it's some really nice winter vegetables to have in our pantry, because they can last a long time. They won't go bad in several months. So when we're doing the pantry challenge in January and February, we don't have to buy fresh vegetables all the time, because we have all of these. And this is celeriac, or celery root. So it tastes a lot like just celery leaves, but it also has this root in the bottom, and that is actually what you eat. And we are mostly eating keto and low carb, so this is a good alternative to, example, potatoes. And you can use it in several different ways, and especially into stews. It's really good. I'm just cutting off all of the leaves and the roots. And these are some carrots, and they haven't been here for a long time, so we were surprised that they were actually so big and beautiful. And it's a new established garden, so we were also surprised that they were so straight and not curvy or parted into 2 or 3 that carrots often do if the soil isn't soft enough. And this is kohlrabi, and they can also store for a really long time in the pantry. So we're just cutting off the roots and all of the leaves, and then they're ready. And every time our bucket is full, we are bringing it in onto our wheelbarrow and putting it in that, so we can fill the bucket once more. And we also have a few of these green cabbages left, and even though it doesn't look so good on the outside, we can just peel off those leaves and then use the rest. The rest of it is still really good, and there's no bad spots anywhere. And then we're using it for sauerkraut, or just to eat in the evening instead of rice or pasta or something like that. And then we have a lot of fennel, and these also haven't been here for so long, so they're not really big as they could be, but we want to pull them now because of the frost is coming soon. And with these we're also just removing the roots and most of the leaves. You can also eat the leaves, but because we have so much, we're just removing it and putting it into the compost or giving it to the chickens. And now we have this whole wheelbarrow full of veggies, so we have for several months here. Now we are just going to take a look on the pork roast, and as you can see, it's really smoky in here. so it will give it a really good taste. And I have it on a low temperature, so it will be in the smoker for about 4 or 5 hours, and it will roast really slowly, so it will get moist and tender inside. And now we are into the backyard again, where we will wash all of these veggies because there's so much dirt on them. We have this chicken cage that we are putting the veggies onto, so we can wash it. We don't have a wash station or a table where we could do it, so we're just doing it here. And when the veggies are cleaned, we are putting it onto this table so we can get on with the next set of veggies. And this is the finished result. And as you can see, there's really a lot of veggies here in all different kinds. So we have veggies for a long time this winter, so we can make it through January and February without buying anything. And this is what we're going to eat with the pork roast. It's Brussels sprouts and pumpkin and a lot of spices and some bacon on top, and we'll just bake it in the oven. And this is pork rinds that I'm making in my air fryer, so they will get really crispy and will taste really good to the food. So we're just using this as an appetizer. And the pork roast, after it's done smoking, we also put that one into the air fryer so that the rind is getting really crispy. And the dark color is just because of the smoke, so it's not burned or anything. And as you can hear, it's really crispy. And this was a really good and tasty meal. And the pork roast is so juicy and moist and tender inside because of the smoke and the long time. And now you can hear the crispiness of the pork rinds.